Bryan Johnson has spent more money biohacking his body than most people have made in their lifetime. And recently, he's been uniting people around one common enemy: microplastics.
We are full of microplastics. Microplastics are everywhere.
So tell me how I was so surprised the way his product showed up at my door. I wanted to do the full Bryan Johnson protocol. The tests, the supplements, maybe not the entire protocol, but the bones of it for sure. So I ended up buying almost the entire Blueprint Protocol. We have the longevity protein mix, the nutty pudding, which is now called longevity protein mix chocolate if you're looking on his site, blueberry nut mix, the longevity mix, these supplements, essential capsules, essential soft gel, and however you say this, and I even got the snake oil. So besides the snake oil, what do all of these things have in common? They're all packaged in plastic. They're all packaged in plastic.
We have basically bathed the world in plastic.
Tell me when this showed up at my door. I don't know what I thought that this was going to be. I just assumed that because he had talked so much about microplastics, there are so many things that microplastics impact. I just assumed that this would be in, I don't know, sugarcane, or this would be PLA, or this would be something that wasn't actually petroleum-based plastic, but it is literally all regular plastic packaging. Like, there's nothing better about this than just like the packaging that you get, like a bag of chips. But I am so genuinely confused by this. And I understand, as a founder, I have a plastic-free personal care company, and I totally understand why it's so hard not to use plastic. So our product over here, glass, it's heavy, it's expensive, it's a pain to deal with, it breaks. Aluminum is expensive, it's a pain to deal with, it's dense. To still put everything in absolutely regular, cheapest plastic you can possibly find, I don't understand how that's aligned with anything else that he preaches.
Remove plastic wherever you can. Store your food in non-plastic materials. If you receive something in plastic, just put it in those containers. I have stopped drinking water out of plastic. There may be a circumstance where it's either choose death or choose a plastic water bottle, but until then, I don't think I'm going to do it.
And to understand just how bad microplastics are, there have been studies that show they can be linked to inflammation, disrupting hormones, infertility, obesity, and that's just what they've been able to prove with the studies so far. And one of the real problems is they're everywhere. You're constantly being exposed, from your bedding to your clothing, from the food we eat to the water we drink. So when and where you can, you should reduce or eliminate your exposure. Here's the thing, I have zero issue with the product themselves. I've actually been using them for a few months. I took biomarkers before I started using them. I'm gonna take my biomarkers in a few months after I've completed using them. And the formulas and the methodology behind all of this makes a ton of sense. But the fact still remains, it came in plastic, and that is just so weird and annoying. Because if we're all in alignment, and the studies show that one of the very basic things you can do for your own longevity is reduce your exposures to microplastics, the fact that something that is so carefully curated still comes in plastic doesn't make any sense. I can tell by the ingredients he's using, the way that he sourced these things, the protocol that he's on, there is so much care and research that goes into this. So it's just so baffling to me, something that's so huge. The fact that he's been talking about microplastics so much is just completely not represented in the plastic packaging that's used on all of the products. I just don't understand. So anyway, I'm gonna keep doing the protocol. I'm actually very happy with it so far, except for the massive issue that it's actually probably increasing the amount of plastic that I'm exposed to, because I've been living a pretty lower plastic lifestyle. But we'll know by my biomarkers in a few months if this is actually making a difference. So anyway, have you done this protocol? What do you think of this protocol? And if so, like, what did you think of the fact that it comes in plastic? Was it just something where you see as like a necessary exposure, or did you find it as weird as I did too? Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, live well and undox yourself.